sixth graders. This month we're going to do a quick little book talk about historical fiction. I know you guys are reading The Watsons Go to Birmingham right now, or at least getting ready to, and that's in the historical fiction genre. Historical fiction is one of my favorites. I love to study history, and I really enjoy how historical fiction just kind of takes you in to that decade or that time period and kind of puts you right in there, and you get to see what human interaction was during that time. So I've got a couple of titles to share with you, and we have tons of historical fiction. So remember, in Destiny Quest, you can check under the genre list for historical fiction and find some there. And always come and talk to me, since this is one of my favorite genres. I have a lot of recommendations for you. The first book I'm going to feature is Countdown by Deborah Willis. The year is 1962, and Fanny Chapman doesn't know how to deal with what's going on in the world. The Cuban Missile Crisis is just beginning, so everybody's worried about Russia sending missiles to Cuba. She's got a crush on the boy next door. Her friend and her are fighting, and then her sister has disappeared. So she's got a lot going on, and this is all during a lot of turbulent time in the 1960s. The second book I'm going to feature is The Resistance. You guys saw this one during book fair. We do have 2 copies in our library, and it is phenomenal. Featured in World War II, Chaya, a Jewish teen in Poland, is determined to make a difference after her family is torn apart during the early days of the German occupation. She seeks to join the resistance, so you get to join her on her mission as she fights for survival. So fabulous. If you enjoy World War II novels, this is definitely one for you. I'm going to talk to you about another World War II book. This one's called Mapping the Bones. It's by the same author as Devil's Arithmetic. Cham and Jiddle are Polish twins whose lives feel like a fairy tale torn apart, with evil witches, forbidden forests, and an oven looming on the horizon. So there's a lot of really good figurative language in this book. This heart-wrenching story is filled with brutality and despair, along with some poetry and just a lot of strength and a lot of heart. These twins, all they have left is each other. Fascinating book. You might want some tissues for this one. Kind of another 360 on this one. The Revolution of Evelyn Sereno. So this is focusing on New York during 1969. So there are 2 secrets Evelyn Sereno is keeping from her family: her true feelings about growing up in their Spanish Harlem neighborhood, and her attitude about Abuela, her sassy grandmother who's come from Puerto Rico to live with them. So this takes place during a time when there is a lot going on as far as like activism for minority groups, including Cuban Americans, Puerto Rican Americans. So this is a whole other part of that civil rights movement that maybe you don't know about. So it's a great book, and it has won a couple of awards for that. So you guys are doing The Watsons Go to Birmingham. I love Christopher Paul Curtis because he does a lot where his characters focus in Michigan. And if you haven't read Bud Not Buddy, I highly recommend this book. I love it. Bud is a guy that his mom died, and he's trying to find his dad. So he goes on this cross-Michigan trek on foot, and he's trying to find his dad, who he believes is a jazz musician. So the twist at the end is pretty phenomenal, and Christopher Paul Curtis, he's got a special place in my heart. So if you enjoy Watsons Go to Birmingham, check this one out. So come on down, check out some historical fiction, and we'll see you next time.